I'm learning something myself. My next question is about the person employing the employer. So when we're talking about employment, we're talking about the fact that when the manager is employed, the manager will have to interact with the team members. And part of what I learned from your book, is the fact that when the manager is interacting with the team members, at some point, the manager, especially if the manager is new, it's new to the team, new to the organization, the manager will have to ask questions or ask for help. And in a society where we are, it feels like when people ask for question is because they don't know, and it's there's almost a negative connotation that comes from asking question. People assume that when you ask question, it's because you're stupid. And my question is, when a new manager comes in and is asking question like that, asking question, how can such manager balance asking question and still being respected by these team members? You know what I'm
Sure.
saying? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to ask relevant questions. That's the difference. If you're asking questions as a leader that are relevant, that means you're asking questions that's going to help the employee think differently or grow. You normally, what we call them is high gain questions, right? But if you're asking low level questions, then
Mhm.
that's where people will start saying, oh, this person doesn't really get it. They don't really know. And then that's when people start disrespecting you. But on the surface, there's nothing wrong with asking questions. See, new leaders who are not self-confident, who don't have a high emotional intelligence, they refuse to ask questions because they feel that they need to know everything.
Wow.
Right? The only one that knows that the only the only one that realizes that they don't know everything um, are the people who are. Let me state that a different way. I want to make sure people get it and they understand. When a leader, a manager doesn't ask questions because they don't, because they're afraid that people are going to think that they don't know it,
Hmm.
they're the only ones that don't know that people already know that they don't know it,
Yes.
right? So as a leader, you have to be okay with asking questions um, and relevant questions so that you earn the respect of your people, right? Sometimes a new leader is afraid to ask a question, and but then they make themselves look foolish by saying something that's out of um, it's due to a lack of knowledge, right?
Hmm.
You lose respect then from your people when you should have just asked a question
Hmm.
and gain the correct knowledge, right? So you can't be afraid to ask questions, but you have to make sure you're asking relevant, high gain questions, and people will not disrespect you or think less of you when you do.